Hi. I'm Josh.
I'm Steve.
I'm Bruno.
And Lisa. And we're working on a project called OhmMyGosh, or OhmG. It's a resistance color scanner for Android. Alright, so basic idea of what it's going to do is it's going to be an Android app. It's going to take a picture of a picture with a resistor somewhere in the picture. Everyone knows what a resistor is from looking at a circuit board at some point. And it finds the resistor within the picture, it finds the bands on that resistor, and then it finds the colors of those bands.
Alright, so this is what we have right now is the Android shell of it. So we have options. You can either select a picture from your gallery, take a picture, or scan the resistor using what's called OpenCV. It's a imaging library. I can talk about that more in a sec. But then once you take the picture, it brings you over to the activity on the right, and then that allows you to change the color bands if it gets it wrong, and then find the one value in the picture.
So yeah, it allows you to select it manually. Right now, that's one of the only functional parts. That's the only functional part in the Android app, other than you select a picture and you can. We have OpenCV's sample code running in it. That's just the stuff that comes stock to make sure OpenCV is working. And then outside of that, we have a C++. We have C++ OpenCV working on it. So right now it's just a function that takes as input the image, an idealized image of a resistor, like cropped and rotated and everything, and the positions of the bands, and it returns the colors with some accuracy. We're working on fine-tuning it though. So yeah, that's good.
So the C++ code that we're developing right now, that should be able to go into the Android app as the code, just the way the OpenCV works. So hopefully we can implement that without a hitch.
Future plans. So we really need to get the computer vision side up. So we have the color band stuff working, not optimally, but it's getting there. And then it's actually finding the resistor. That's just doing computer transformations. And that's my part. When I finish that, I'm going to put up a nice blog post on how to do this in the future, because there's not really good tutorials, especially for Android, to come from.
Alright, so as far as the demo, we demoed the Android stuff before at past presentations. It's very basic UI stuff, but as far as the part where it reads in a resistor, this right here is the image that it takes in. Then it takes the positions of the four bands, and it makes a rectangle in that area, and it does a thing called erode, where it basically finds the most significant colors in there. It takes the average HSV value, and then it runs it through a kind of hack together function that basically tries to figure out what a name for that color is through it. That's the part we're working on optimizing. But here you'll see it says green is the first band, which is right. Blue is the second band. Yellow is the third band. We're working through that. Yellow is very similar to gold and orange and brown. So, and then the last one it read correctly is gold. And then just another couple, it read that right as green, and then it should have been brown, but it was red, which is close. Black is right, and then gold is right.
Is that brown?
That's another issue, is these resistors are horribly inconsistent, I guess would be a good word. In that no two like brands have the exact same resistor colors for the different bands, so we can't narrow it down like that. This one is the perfectly ideal one that reads perfectly as red, red, brown, gold. So I'm I'm happy with that one. So thank you to the usual suspects, Professor Goldschmidt, Morthy, Sean O'Sullivan, and all of you. Questions?
You might have better luck if you took multiple pictures with different contrast settings on the camera.
Yeah. That's part of, with Barat's part with finding the picture of the resistor. Part of that is hopefully eventually having kind of streaming video that the camera is taking in, and it'll
Normalized.
Yeah, so it keeps trying to find it an idealized picture that's like perfect, kind of.
One thing to be careful of there is your image quality, especially per frame. If you're streaming video, is going to be substantially reduced compared to consecutive pictures.
Yeah. Like, it's 4 lines.
Right.
Which is like, thankfully it's nice.
Anyone?
How do you handle the light variance for figuring out the colors? Like, let's say you have half of the resistor under a bright light and the other half under a dull light, or half of the band under a bright light and half of the band under a dull light. What if you confuse the color?
Probably.
But it's like actually like a simple set because it's small enough that usually the light like spreads evenly. Other than like the reflection of like across from what you're seeing.
And it's also taking the average value in the band, so, and it's judging mostly off of the hue of it, which isn't going to change too much based on the lighting. It'll change some if it's a huge difference.
Never mind.
I worked something similar to this over the summer, using it, not blending it, and the thing that they did was they used many different light sources that kind of surrounded the resistor, and it drastically reduced glare. So,
You can put something in the usability part that says the more light sources when using this app, the better, maybe, or
Flashlight on.
we could use flash on the camera.
Might not be ideal, but what if you have like a neutral gray next to it? It's like if you're shining like a warm light onto it, it can kind of like account for that.
yeah, that would be cool.
So you have like your finger. You train the thing to recognize your finger. It's like this is normal.
Yeah,
Then you always have a point of reference right here.
that's pretty cool.
Just like slay your hand down.
That's pretty cool. But
Yeah,
we'll
if you
look
take
into
it
that.
with your hands, like holding the resistor on your hands.
Oh yeah, that works.
You heard of it?
It might be a little bit like
But what if you didn't eat anything that day? Kind of pale. You have to account for that too.
What if your resistor is lit?
Those are not resistors. You're not counting that. Those are resistors.
So you're not doing ceramic resistors?
No, I own them. They make resistors.
Yeah, they
I've
do
seen
make
them in my
these.
set.
They don't exist.
That's a
They're
feature
not in our
problem.
data set.
We're gonna go with the most general, like beige, that we can go with at first, and eventually we can move on to different shapes and colors. And stuff.